Welcome to Crap in the News. It is I, Mike Martins. Thank you for joining us in another very fart-filled edition of what the mainstream media is trying to sell us or tell us or what they're trying to push on us. Welcome, I am Mike Martins, and we have a busy newsroom here today, and we will be covering your crap in the news. So what is going on, guys? Don't forget, let's go to article scan here, to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out last week's Saturday Mike in the Night. Was an absolute hit. Mike in the Night was a hit and a half. I want you guys to check it out. We got a lot of good callers in, lots of good information from all over the Commonwealth, and lots of good stuff that we talk about. Also, guys, if you want to send me show tips, please send me your show tips here to Mike Martins Official on Instagram. Send me your show tips. I will be reading them for you if it's workable. Guys, ralphie.co.new Zealand, check it out. ralphie.co.new Zealand, 24-hour radio. You got Mike in the Night Talk Radio. You got all kinds of stuff on here from local New Zealand artists broadcasting out of Auckland, New Zealand. All right, first article at hand. So here it is. This is by the Daily Mail from the UK. The Daily Mail from the UK. Let me just open this up because you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you. So you're going to go ahead and judge for yourself. Also, guys, I have a channel disclaimer before we kick it off. We do not offer investment advice or medical advice. We are opinion driven and we don't know anything and we can't even read. This video should not be viewed by anyone ever. So that's our disclaimer, guys. Keep that in mind. We don't know what we're talking about and we don't know we don't know anything. So just do your own research. So let's take a look at what they're trying to tell us. I just have to throw a wet one in there. The conspiracy, the conspiracy, that should be the COVID jab most tantalizing side effects. It may help fight cancer, chronic pain, and even Alzheimer's. Scientists have documented an unexpected benefits of the vaccine for decades. Some experts suggest that vaccines can train the immune system, strengthening it. Others say increased stress hormones affect cause ability to target infections. Oh my God. And Buddy says, vaccine, previously I couldn't even bend my leg. Now I could bend my leg. Oh my God, he couldn't bend his leg before. Got the jab for reverb, and now he could bend his leg. The NHS jab refused links. Almost a quarter of London's frontline healthcare workers, particularly ethnic minorities, have failed to accept the COVID jab. Shocking figure reveals. More than 41,000 frontline healthcare workers, which includes medics, have not had the jab in the capital. So that's obviously in London, England. This is equivalent to 24% of the workforce, with London is lagging behind the rest of the country. Safety fears, conspiracy theories, and mistrust of government blame for hesitancy among the ethnic groups. So you see right here, London is dramatically lagging behind the rest of the country, with only 6% of staff across England's 6 other regions have failed to take the vaccine. So here it is. Today, I'm pleased to join. Please join me in getting my jab. And then, so I specifically talking about people from Black, Asian, minority, ethnic groups. And then it goes on to say, I stand with science. I stand vaccines. Smash heart if you stand vaccines too. So there it is right there. So if you stand with vaccines, I don't know a Stan. I used to know a Stan. We used to call him Stan the Man from Newfoundland. He was an okay guy. And then he got into a run-in with Cocaine Charlie, and then there was a huge problem with that. So we're not going to get into that right now. Let's move on. Okay, so here it is, guys. Things are starting to pile up. Let's go to article scan here. Let me get this straightened out. Ontario courts expected to be busy with COVID lawsuit long after the pandemic. So there's a lot of lawsuits being filed all over the place. And even, so now that they're going to have to do is they actually have to prove this thing exists. There's a lot of work in the making now. There's a lot of experts, science coming forward that are standing with small business owners. And it's nice to see that science, real science, is starting to stand with business owners and saying, no, and no, yeah, this is not good enough and it won't hold up in the courtroom. And that's what I guess they forgot to do in Canada, but it's becoming a major deal. So what's happening here? Even when the pandemic is finally behind us, Ontario's courts will likely be dealing with COVID lawsuits for some years to come. There are already some suits filed claiming wrongful deaths and long-term care homes, a lack of disability coverage for so-called COVID long haulers with lingering symptoms as a class action suit claiming the government's masking laws are violating constitutional rights. And a lot of businesses and barbecues were shut down. You guys know what I'm talking about. Official reach New London low. Officials reaching New London low say moist masks are good for you. Guys, I don't know. I don't know science. And you know what? And if you do know science, you know it's trying to rip you off. And science is always to benefit the military and to benefit the big pharma, big food, big education, big everything. Science is not, I mean, they're not going to, yeah. So officials reaching you low say moist masks are good for you. Do your own research. Here's. Where's a reverb? We need a nuclear or reverb? Reverb. All right, let's move on here. Large majority of Britons dissatisfied with Boris Johnson Brexit deal. A large majority of Britons are dissatisfied with Boris Johnson's Brexit deal and want it overhauled, a new study has found. So it's like the NAFTA in Canada and North America. It's all these deals. And you know what? It should be every country for himself, for themselves, and that's it. And it's always been every country for themselves because you know why this is happening. You know why Nigel Farage and all this whole Brexit movement started, and a lot of European nations trying to leave or mass exiting or wanting to get out of this whole what's that Troika deal? That whole European Union. It did not work, and it's going to be lingering for another 2-3 decades until Europe breaks apart into individual states again and creates their own currency and reset. And that's what's going to eventually happen. And yeah, every country for himself. That's how it works. Every country initiate what they want. That's why countries should be independent, free of if they don't want to be part of the world banking cartel, they shouldn't have to. Other countries should not have to bring them peace. This country is trading oil in their own currency. We need to bring them peace right now, and we need to sanction them to death. And that's the world we live in today. So let's move on. Police and protesters. Let me open this to full screen here. Police and protesters, tense situation outside Calgary City Hall for COVID rally. So we know what's happening with Calgary and lots of rallies happening. So not hate in the streets and with I don't even know what that says. It's all one word. So there it is, guys. Let's move on. University suspends student for saying a man is a man and a woman is a woman. Yeah, nowadays, if you go to school and you actually tell the truth, like, again, science, like, okay, they got smart. Climate change. You cannot doubt that climate change is real. That's the thing. Climate, it's sunny today. It's actually gorgeous. It's like plus 10 centigrade. I'm going to go out, do some, run some errands in this beautiful weather today and enjoy the sun. But you can't deny climate change is happening. That's why they changed it from global warming. Because Florida did not fall or is not 2 feet underwater. In 2007, it was supposed to be 2, 3, 4 feet underwater. So now they're screwing around with language and using it as a weapon against us. So here it is, guys. University suspends student for saying a man is a man and a woman is a woman. Hold on, we got a big fart here. That wasn't that big. Let's go to here. Moan, bark, fart, nuclear fart. Oh yeah, that's exactly what that is. Did you hear that follow-up? All right, let's move on. Oh, it's all COVID news all over the Commonwealth. It's getting boring, man. Viral load. Boris insists that lockdown lifting is still irreversible despite Brazil variants. After scientists say it evades antibodies. Brazil. La, 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 la. Brazil. Okay, let's move on. Man, I want to go to Carnival, man. What the hell is going on here? Oh, okay, here we go. We need a complimentary wet fart before we jump into this. Goldstein's from the Toronto Sun's reporting, Trudeau's carbon tax hike, big costs, and broken promises. So it goes on to say that Trudeau's carbon tax, which applies in Ontario, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and will raise an estimate $6.97 billion next year, increasing $8.56 billion in 2022. So basically, the middle class is being impoverished because of carbon tax or whatever it is. It's revenue neutral, according to the report last year, primarily budget officers Yves Grouk. That's because the federal GST levied on top of the carbon tax, which next year will raise an estimate $235 million, and Trudeau government increasing $290 million in 2022. So there it is right there. According to the government figures, Trudeau's rebate system with 90% carbon tax revenues to be returned to families at 10% to small and medium-sized businesses. I have a small business. I haven't gotten anything. I'm paying a lot of... I got my bill right here. And I'll tell you what I paid in carbon tax for my house. Let me tell you what I paid right now. What I paid. So, Fortis BC bill here. Let's go to regular video here. Fortis BC... GST, carbon tax, municipality. I pay like $300 in fees. My tax only costs me, basic charge, just the tax costs me $13.19. And the cost of gas is $34.48. I end up paying $410 here after all the fees. So carbon tax, $154.63. I'm getting taxed at 27.5 GJ at 1.98. So $154 in carbon tax to keep my family warm through the winter. But luckily, we're going to have an early spring, and I can get my car on the road, and I don't have to worry about carbon tax. So let's move on. So basically, people are it's getting bad. All right, let's move it on. All right, article scan. Grace Life Church holds another in-person service despite closure order pastor arrest. Again, the church keeps reopening and the pastor keeps getting arrested it's somewhere in Alberta, and this is the Edmonton Journal that's reporting this, so it's somewhere in Alberta, and we've already reported on this church opening several times. We should get this pastor on Mike in the Night. I'm gonna see if I could contact him. If anybody knows this guy, contact him, tell him to come on the show. How rape allegations have rocked Australian politics. So this is the BBC that's reporting this. So this is not some... Let me just bring this back for you guys so you guys can see the whole thing here. How rape allegations have rocked Australian politics. So there it is right there. Just a fortnight ago, Australia was shocked by former political advisor allegations that she had been raped in the nation's Parliament House. So Brittany Higgins says she's been attacked by male colleague, also an advisor. So there it is right there. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's at every level. They keep blaming the Vatican. I'm not one for the Vatican. I really don't care what the Vatican does. I don't really care. I don't follow their structure. I am a Catholic, but I don't follow none of that structure. Jesus is in my heart, always, and every levels of everything. The cable company has levels of corruption. The hairdresser down the street have levels of corruption. Everything, the Walmarts, everything has something, somewhere. Chinese investment in Australia plummeted 61%. This is a major deal for people, especially in the housing market. So you may see Australian housing market fall first, especially with the amount of sanctions that the Chinese have put on Australia. And Australia just wants to look into the wet markets and stuff, and Australia has been attacked. A drop in investment comes amid a growing diplomatic rift between two countries. Australian National University Chinese investment in Australia database recorded 1 billion Australian dollars in investment. So there it is right there. Last year's decline can top a 47% drop for 2019 when Chinese investment totaled $1.57 billion. So there's trade tensions happening. We covered that here many times on the channel. And that's why a lot of conservative Australians wanted Donald Trump to win, because Donald Trump was the only person standing between China and the rest of the world. Now China's free and clear. Wow. I told you guys when the new president-elect came into power, or I don't even know if he's really in power, basically I stated that bye-bye Taiwan, Amerifornia is coming. Amerifornia is coming. Look up my channel. Amerifornia is going to be the new America. Unemployment, homelessness, cost of living, high taxes, high cost of living, high taxes. It's going to go all over middle America, and middle-class families will be wiped out of their own cities, and homes will be left empty and vacant, owned by foreign investors. Reverb. Okay, here we go. So the Biden administration hard at work here. Airstrikes in Syria kill 22 in Joe Biden's first military act as president. Strikes against Iran-backed fighters were retaliation for attack on U.S.-led forces in Iraq, says Pentagon. So there it is. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember the Obama administration where they were dropping the love bombs, right? So Prince William and Kate urged people to take the vaccine. Unfortunately, they won't be taking the vaccine. That's the sad part. So, yeah, let's move on here. It's kind of funny how people are always telling people what to do, but they don't do it for themselves. New Zealand, largest city back in lockdown as COVID lingers. So on Mike in the Night, we had somebody on the show from New Zealand, from Auckland, tell us it was an alleged single case in New Zealand. One single case in New Zealand. But they're not sure it's alleged. So they shut down the city of Auckland, the biggest city in New Zealand. Now, Breitbart, Farage, Britain is paying France to import COVID by boat migrants. So Brexit leader Nigel Farage reported on Saturday that the entire boat of illegal migrants tested positive for the Chinese COVID after being escorted into British territorial waters by the French Navy. So there it is. These are claims. We don't know, but you know what? This man has no reason to lie. If anything, he's been ridiculed. He's been trashed at. He's like the Donald Trump of the UK, right? So anytime anyone tries to do something to better something or to kind of create a win for the people, they ended up getting, you know what I'm talking about. Auckland, COVID lockdown tests New Zealanders' patients. So there it is right down. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with New Zealand. Every time New Zealand has a lockdown protest for lockdowns, they actually, what happens with that? The New Zealand media spins it as a pro-Trump protest every time. So if it's a lockdown, we're tired of lockdowns, stop the lockdowns, they spin it as a pro-Trump protest every time. So there's no way to win it. What fart? Let's move on here. So here it is, guys. Some vaccinated Israeli women report irregular menstrual cycles and bleeding. Guys, we do not offer medical advice. You don't want to get medical advice from someone that can't read, right? All right, here we go. This is not placebo. Officers say they should not be enforcing unmanageable COVID laws as walkers are questioned for going to the beach in a mild weekend weather. So people are being, where is this? This is the UK, of course. Well, so much for global warming, right? The Bank of England will issue e-pounds within 2 years as cash dies out. So the e-pound is coming, a new cryptocurrency. What do they get? They're going to back it. They're going to just back it with economy, housing, I guess, is the economy in most English-speaking countries. So here we go. We have another American spin. Sadiq Khan demands mail-in voting for London mayoral election. So in Canada, they're pushing for a snap election. The Liberals are so they could get a majority government, so they could do mail-in elections and pull what they did in the United States of America. In my opinion, I don't think Biden even got 9 million votes. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be pro-Trump or trying to say there's something happening, and it's not good. And now they want to get this mail-in ballot system like America did. They want it in Canada. They're already issuing that so many parts of the country are dangerous to be in person to vote in Canada. And now they're saying in England that it is illegal for people to go vote in public. So they want to do mail-in elections for the sake of your good health. So let's move on. MP, Member of Parliament, joins former donor in calling for RCMP investigation to the We Charity following testimony. So we know that all the stuff that's happening in corruption in the Canadian leadership and scandals that have been happening. And unfortunately, the They just can't do nothing about it. Especially, I prefer that the RCMP reopen the money laundering that's happened in Canada. Hundreds of $1 billion was caught, and they had to shut it down. I wish they could have went. I predicted 950 billion was laundered through Canadian real estate. That's why everyone's homeless or becoming homeless in Canada. So. Again, the great Canadian leader makes the news again. Justin ushers in anti-Anglophone era in Canadian history. So, basically, the fact that countries which millions of new arrivals migrate are infinitely more racist than Canada does not factor into the media narrative. This alone suggests collusion between government and media. Well, we know that because it's been bailed out. So there's so much happening here in Canada. I can't even go into it because it'll probably ban my channel. Even though it is happening, we just can't really talk about it. And every household with school-aged kids to be offered 2 rapid COVID tests per person per week. Now, here's the thing with this. I do not offer medical advice because I can't read, but let me tell you guys something. Do what the Nigerian or the African government did, where you swab a cantaloupe or a deer and a donkey and send it back and say, oh, you're positive. It's like, I don't think so. So that's a way of actually finding out if these tests really work. I'm not telling people to do that, but I'm just telling one African president did that, and then they pretty much shut him down, and he disappeared off the scene. So here it is. It's going to get worse. Grieving families demand answers after deaths wrongly attributed to COVID. An avalanche of people have claimed their loved ones' cause of death was recorded as COVID, despite them never being exposed to the outbreak or testing positive for the virus. So this is the boast of numbers, and this is from the Daily Mirror, and it's a legit website. So this is not good. Let's move on. 5 questions to ask friends that plan to get the vaccination. This is kind of important, so I want to cover this. We're just asking questions, so YouTuber that's verifying this video, please don't shut it down because it's just questions. Number 1, did you know that we have never successfully vaccinated against COVID? Number 2, did you know it usually takes 5 to 10 years to fully develop a vaccine? Number 3, did you know that COVID vaccine is based on new technology which has never been approved to be used for humans before? Number 4, did you know that the pharmaceutical companies can't be sued if a vaccine hurts or kills someone? Number 5, did you know that 99.8% of people survive COVID-19? So almost 100% of people, 99.8%, so will survive. So it's basically flu numbers. You look into the flu numbers, you subtract the percentage of people that pass away. That's how many people pretty much die from the flu every year. So this one's kind of scary. I kind of wanted to show this one. Patients being offered euthanasia contrary to the Fraser Health Policy. BC Catholic investigation finds that investigation by the BC Catholic has found that patients in the Fraser Health Authority have been offered death by euthanasia without requesting it. Contrary to the health authority safeguard policies requiring patients to raise the issue of assisted suicide. Patients, concerned citizens, and medical personnel have told the BC Catholic that medical personnel in Fraser Health and elsewhere often suggest medical assistance in dying. Watch out, guys. They're going to put it on the back of driver's license and all over other forms of communication. And if you sign something, like, for example, let's say you get you sign up for a new cell phone plan. Let's say you sign up for a new cell phone plan. You don't read the 13 pages on there. You might be signing also. By the way, by signing the cell phone plan that we're giving you, you will be agreeing to assisted suicide. So, guys, this is very scary stuff. Be careful what you sign and be careful what you... Oh, it's right here on your cell phone plan that you've already agreed to it. You should have read it. That's what's going to happen. And we'll finish off with Florida man. Florida man calls 911, admits to shooting naked man at apartment complex in Pembroke Pines, Florida. A shooting at a South Florida apartment complex on Wednesday invoked a naked man and a person who called 911 to report he had pulled the trigger, authorities said. The victim, who was shot while naked in public, is in critical condition, according to the Pembroke Pines Police Department. The alleged shooter is in custody, the Sun Sentinel report. So there it is, guy walking around naked through an apartment complex. Wow. That's probably why properties in Florida are always going to remain affordable for the average working Florida citizen. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Look forward to reading them. Thank you for watching Crap in the News. There's so much crap to cover. I don't even know where to start. Let me know how you guys are faring with all the crap happening around you. Like, it's hard enough to, like, manage and keep your lives in check when you have to continuously, that's the music. We gotta go. Continuously make it work. Visit me.